Afternoon, all of you.
Am I audible for you?
Yes.
Okay.
So yesterday we have discussed folded cascode, right? And before that we have discussed the double cascoding. And the advantage of double cascoding is that we will be getting more output resistance, where the overall output resistance is equal to A naught square into R0, where R0 is the output resistance of Q1 or Q2. That is a single transistor. So if you have cascaded two CG configurations over one CS configuration, then the overall output resistance will become A naught square multiplied by small letter R0. So that is the speciality of double cascoding. And in that also we have seen how to fix this capital I by using this cascode current source. Okay. Capital I is nothing but the current source, constant current source, which can be fixed by using another current source circuitry. Okay, so that current source circuitry can be made by using PMOS circuits. So why we are using PMOS circuits, that also we have discussed. Since the amplifier is manufactured by using NMOS, in order to exploit the benefits of both PMOS and NMOS together, capital I will be fabricated or generated by using PMOS devices, so that the entire circuitry can be considered as a CMOS implementation. So that is what is discussed in double cascoding, and the advantage of double cascoding is nothing but the output resistance will be equal to A naught square multiplied by R0. Now, if you see this folded cascode means instead of stacking two or three transistors under one power supply rail, okay, VDD, here the power supply is VDD. So under this power supply, we are not going to stack multiple transistors together like Q1, Q2, Q3 as before in a double cascoding configuration. So that will consume more power, okay, because only capital I is the only current source which we are making use of here, right? That capital I is meant for all the three transistors together. So if you are using three transistors in the amplifier portion, similarly, we need to make use of three PMOS devices to generate this capital I. So totally six transistors will be working under VDD. So that is the main drawback of double cascoding. So that will result in excessive power dissipation, and as a result, the IC will get heated up. So we require heat sinks and all. Again, the circuit will become more complicated, and the IC will not be much more suitable to handle it in a high power applications. So in order to compromise or in order to overcome that particular solution, I mean a particular problem, we are going for the folded cascode. The concept of folded cascode is that we are not cascading or stacking two transistors under a single power supply. Rather than that, what I have done is I have used a PMOS device. If I'm using NMOS as a common source configuration, then for common gate, I will be using PMOS. That is the difference. Whereas in the double cascoding or in the ordinary cascode amplifier, all the devices will be NMOS, isn't it? All the amplifier devices that has cascaded together, there will be NMOS devices only. But here, if you see, common source configuration is NMOS, whereas common gate is PMOS. That is arrow is shown like that, right? So the arrow indicates that this is a PMOS device and this is a NMOS device, and they have cascaded together. Cascaded means the drain of the first transistor is connected to the source of the next transistor. And one more difference is when you compare with the previous circuitry, in that we are having a single current source which is applicable for both the transistors or even all the three transistors. But here, if you see, I1 is applicable for Q1 and whereas I2 is applicable for Q2, right? So if this current I1 is coming to this particular node, then it will split as I2 towards the transistor Q2. So the remaining current I1 minus I2 will be coming through Q1. If you apply nodal analysis at this particular node, I1 is a current that is coming to the drain of Q1. After that, it is splitting through this particular transistor, where I2 is the maximum allowable current through the transistor. This is being fixed by using a current source circuitry. So the remaining current I1 minus I2 is passing through Q1, and that will be equivalent to GMVI. You know the expression for the drain current of a MOSFET, it is nothing but GM into VGS, where VGS is here considered as VI, right? That is a voltage that is applied between the gate and sources equivalent to VI. So GMVI is the current flow through the transistor Q1. Okay, so the first problem, I mean, the first point you need to note down is why we require this particular configuration. That is nothing but to avoid the problem of stacking a large number of transistors. Please take down the points. So this is the first point, that is we are going to avoid the problem of stacking a large number of transistors. So in order to uh, avoid this problem, we are going for this folded cascade. Now the second point is the CG stage is implemented by PMOS. The CS stage is implemented by NMOS. CS is common source. Common source is implemented by NMOS device, whereas common gate is implemented by PMOS. You know that this is common gate, right? Why it is common gate? Because we are taking the output from the drain and we are giving the input from the source. Input is given to the source from the drain of Q1. That is what is called cascaded. We are connecting the drain of first transistor to the source of the second transistor. That configuration is called as cascade configuration. And this Q2 is working as common gate configuration, which is a PMOS device. That is your second point. Then another point is, if you compare the previous configurations, that is the conventional cascade amplifier or double cascade configuration. In this version, we are having an additional current source I2, so that the first transistor Q1 will be operating in which current? I1 minus I2. That also I have discussed, because the total entering current is I1, and from that I1, I2 will be flowing through Q2 as it is biased at Q2. So the remaining current is flowing through Q1, which is equivalent to I1 minus I2. So the bias current of Q1 is I1 minus I2. And also to the gate of this Q2, we have given a V bias, a voltage. So that is for setting the proper biasing, right? That is in order to make the transistor Q2 and Q1 in saturation. Because only if you make the transistors in saturation, then only we can have the desirable amplification. So in this, I have not shown the biasing circuitry. Instead of that, I have fixed a voltage, a convenient voltage V bias at the gate of Q2, so that the transistor will operate in saturation. That is the next point. Okay. And why it is called folded configuration, that is mentioned here. The signal GMVI. What is the signal GMVI called as? It is nothing but the signal drain current, right? You know what is GMVI? GMVI is nothing but the drain current of the transistor. Which transistor? Q1. Because VI is given to Q1 only, right? So GMVI is the drain current of Q1, which is folded down and then made to flow to the source terminal of Q2, right? So this is folded down and it is made to flow through the source of Q2. That is why this is called as folded cascade. Please note down that point. Clear? Any doubts, students? So the next version is BiCMOS cascode. So all these are different versions of cascode amplifier. Okay. So how many versions you have studied till now? First is the conventional cascode amplifier, where you will be connecting the CS and CG together with a active current source at the drain terminal of Q2. Right. That is a conventional cascode amplifier. Followed by that, we have studied how to implement that capital I by using a current source circuitry, isn't it? That is called cascode current source. This one. Cascode current source is not an amplifier. Please remember, this is not an amplifier. This is a circuit which is used to produce a constant current capital I that will have an output resistance equivalent to GM2 R02 into R01. Okay. So this circuit we will stack over the drain of Q2. Then only it will become a cascode amplifier. Then in double cascoding, what we are doing is we will be stacking two CGs over one CS. So stacking two CG configuration over one CS configuration, that is called double cascoding. Here also we will fix a constant current source, which is nothing but your active load at the drain of Q3. Because I have used two transistors, Q2 and Q3 as CG. So over Q3, I will be fixing the active load. So together, how many transistors? Three transistors in the amplifier part and three transistors in the current source part. Because if you see the current source, in order to fabricate this current source, we need the active devices, that is PMOS devices. Okay. So there also we are having the three transistors. So totally six transistors will be used in double cascoding. The advantage is that still you can increase the gain and the output resistance of the amplifier. Okay. But the drawback is, what is the drawback? Excessive power dissipation. And since the hardware is very much complex, because six transistors is being connected under a single power supply. So more power consumption and more hardware is required. So that is a disadvantage. So to compensate that, we are coming with folded cascode, where you will be folding the common gate configuration from the drain terminal of common source. That is what is called as folded cascode. So next version is BiCMOS cascode. As the name indicates, this is the combination of bipolar and MOSFET together. Bipolar and MOSFET together. Why CMOS? Can you tell me why CMOS? Again, it will make use of both PMOS and NMOS. Understood? That means if you are using NMOS in the amplifier part, you will use PMOS in the current source circuitry. Therefore, you will achieve CMOS circuit. And the combination of CMOS along with bipolar devices, that is nothing but BiCMOS. So the feature is we are going to combine the bipolar and MOS transistor. So we would like to exploit the features of, or make use of the features of both BJTs and MOSFETs together in one circuit. So for that only we are going for BiCMOS. Is that clear, students? So these are small circuits and their features need to be highlighted. That's all. There is no analysis and all. Okay. Just you have to draw the figure and their features have to be written in point wise or what, however it may be. Okay. So there are few properties for each and every circuitry. So that you need to explain. That's it. There are no analysis. So this is a circuit for BiCMOS. You can take down the circuit first and then I will explain the features. So if you see the circuit, the transistor Q1 is a MOS device. Which MOSFET it is? See the arrow mark outwards at the source terminal. So this is a NMOS. And to the gate of this NMOS device, we will give the input voltage Vi. This is the signal to be amplified. And instead of providing a common gate configuration, here I have given a common base configuration by making use of bipolar junction transistor. So we have a bipolar junction transistor BJT, which is stacked over the common source MOSFET. Okay. So the combination of BJT and MOSFET together, it is called as BiCMOS. Again, why CMOS? CMOS means combination of PMOS and NMOS. That is what is represented by capital I. You know that capital I is a constant current source which is designed by using some active devices. Here the active devices are nothing but again the MOSFETs, but that MOSFETs will be PMOS because in the amplifier part you have used NMOS, and in generating capital I you will make use of PMOS. Therefore we have a combination of CMOS as well as BJT, so the device is called as BiCMOS. And why it is called cascode? Because any configuration that will connect the drain of one transistor with the source of this next transistor, that is called as cascode configuration. Here instead of source we are having the emitter because this is a BJT. Is it clear, students? Kindly respond. Clear or not, Soumya?
Yes, sir.
Now R01 is the output resistance of Q1. Okay, R01 is the output resistance of Q1, which is acting as the input resistance of Q2. Then what this transistor will do is, the transistor is again, it amplifies the current, right? It amplifies the current. So naturally the output resistance will also increase by a factor, which is nothing but beta, where beta 2 is the current amplification factor of Q2. So if we are stacking a common base configuration over a common source configuration, then what will happen is the overall output resistance will become beta times of the output resistance of Q1. Okay, so you can write your final equation as beta 2 multiplied by R02. Okay, or R01. You can write R01 if we are taking the two transistors identical whose output resistance are matched, then we can write R0. So beta 2, beta times of R0, that will be the general expression. So here we can connect this particular configuration in two possibilities. So this is a first configuration what we have discussed just now. The first configuration you can see MOSFET is the input device. Input device means the device to which we will give the input, that is called input device. Then it is followed by the bipolar transistor in the second stage. Okay, so MOSFET is used for the input device and it provides a cascode with an infinite input resistance. The input resistance of the cascode, overall cascode device, will be infinite. That is being achieved by using this MOSFET. You know the property of a MOSFET, right? MOSFET is having infinite input impedance. So that infinite input impedance or infinite input resistance can be achieved by placing this MOSFET as an input device. Because if you compare this BJT and MOSFET, BJT is having little or less input impedance, whereas MOSFET is having high input impedance. So in order to get high input impedance, I will always place Q1 at the input device. So that is the main advantage of this particular version. Okay, so please write down the first point. The first point is that it will offer infinite input resistance. Why? Because I have connected the MOSFET as the input device. As it is the first stage, it will offer a high input impedance or resistance. Okay. Similarly, in the output side, I have used a transistor Q2, because if you use MOSFET as like in the previous stages or in the double cascoding, what I have done is I have stacked more number of transistors, like 2 transistors over 1 CS. Why we are requiring those Q2 and Q3? Because I need to increase my output resistance, because typically if you see a MOSFET, its output resistance will be low. Normally its output resistance will be low and input impedance will be infinite. So in order to get maximum output resistance, what I should do is I should increase the number of stages. But you know the problem of increasing the number of CG configurations. The hardware complexity will get more, and accordingly the power dissipation will be more and the IC will become more complicated. So in order to avoid that, what I have done is I'm not ready for cascading more stages Q2, Q3, Q4, etc. over Q1. I'm not doing that. Instead of that, I will remove the MOSFET and I will be placing a common base bipolar junction transistor over the MOSFET that works as common source. This is working as common base and this is working as common source. So why I replace this common base BJT? Because BJT is having a high output resistance when compared to MOSFET. Okay. So bipolar transistor is used for the cascode device. So which is a cascode device here? Cascode device is nothing but the device which is connected in cascode with Q1, right? So that is nothing but your BJT or bipolar transistor that will provide a large output resistance, which you cannot achieve by using a MOSFET as a cascode device. Okay. The main reason is the current amplification factor beta of a BJT will be larger than the A0 value of the MOSFET. If you see the previous diagram, if you see the previous diagram, what is the amplification factor that we are getting here? It is A0 square. A0 square is a multiplication factor in the output resistance. But this value is very less as far as the MOSFET is considered. So what we have done is we have replaced this MOSFET with a bipolar junction transistor whose current gain beta will be very large. Therefore, we will be able to get a maximum output resistance by making use of a common base configuration as a cascode device. Understood, students? Okay. And this common base configuration, if you see, it will give lower input resistance than a common gate. Okay. So we will not connect this as the input device. Okay. So always input device I should connect with the MOSFET so that I can have a higher input resistance and higher output resistance by making use of a BJT as a cascode device. And another specialty is that by connecting in this way, it will reduce the Miller effect in Q1 that I will discuss in the next session. What is Miller effect? And we need to do the problem also. So that I will be discussing afterward. So right now you just take down the point, the advantages to reduce the Miller effect. So these are the specialty of the first possibility of connecting this configuration called BiCMOS. I told you there are 2 possibilities of connecting this circuit. So first possibility is input device will be MOSFET and the output device will be BJT. So the advantage of connecting in this particular way is, first point, input resistance will be very high because you know that when compared to BJT, MOSFET is having high infinite input resistance. So as a result, the overall input resistance will be high. Similarly, if you stack a BJT as a cascode device in the place of MOSFET, then the output resistance will be also more. The main reason is the current amplification factor beta will be very large when compared to the A0. A0 is a multiplication factor that you can see in the output resistance of a cascode amplifier. That is, if you take the output resistance at the drain terminal of common gate MOSFET, then the output resistance is A0 into R0. The double cascode, we are having A0 square into R0. So that A0 value is little bit less when you compare with beta value of a BJT. BJT is the bipolar junction transistor and beta is its current amplification factor. So that current amplification factor is very much high when you compare with the when you compare with the A naught value of MOSFET. Hence, we will be able to get a high output resistance and infinite input resistance, which is very much necessary for a IC implementation. Now coming to the second possibility of connecting a BiCMOS cascode, take down the circuit diagram. Done. So this is the second possibility or second way of connecting the BiCMOS cascode. Again, this configuration is called as BiCMOS because it is a combination of a bipolar transistor and a CMOS device. Okay. So which is a CMOS device, students? Which is a CMOS device here? Which is a CMOS device used in this particular circuit? Neeta? Neeta Nadraj, you tell me which is a CMOS device used in the circuit. Is it Q1, Q2 or Q3? Are you there in the meeting? Gautam, you tell me which is the CMOS transistor that you have used in the circuit. Complementary MOS.
Q3.
Yes, it is Q3, but Q3 is NMOS. In order to call it as CMOS, you should also need PMOS. From where will you get PMOS? PMOS will be available in I. I is a constant current source. In order to generate constant current source I, we should make use of active devices, which will consist of PMOS devices. Okay. So those PMOS and this NMOS together, it is called as CMOS. And this Q2 and Q1, they are bipolar junction transistors. So hence, the entire configuration is called as BiCMOS. So what is the difference that you have seen here? What is the difference that you have seen here when compared to the previous circuit? I have interchanged the position of BJT and MOSFET. Here, the MOSFET was the input device, but here the MOSFET is the output device and BJT is the input device. So the signal to be amplified will be given to the bipolar junction transistor Q1. This is in which configuration? This is in common emitter configuration, where emitter is common to the input and output side. R01 is the output resistance of Q1. it is cascaded with Q2. So we are having two stages of BJTs, okay, Q1 and Q2, so that Q2 will offer an output resistance which is equal to beta 2 multiplied by R01 or R02, whatever it is. Okay, so beta 2 is the amplification factor of Q2. So the output resistance will become beta times of R0. Again, this is stacked over this. We have another transistor Q3 which is stacked over, and this is a MOSFET which is in NMOS. Again, it is in common gate configuration. So since this is a MOSFET device, it will introduce a amplification factor of A0, a multiplication factor of A0, so that the overall output resistance will become A0 into beta into R0. Okay, so specifically if I mention, it is A03 into beta 2 into R02 or R01. That depends on the kind of transistor that you are choosing. Because if you are choosing identical transistor, you can write R02 or R01. Okay, so the overall output resistance now it became A03, beta 2 and R02. So this is the total output resistance expression for this particular circuit. So the main requirement of this configuration is, if you use a BJT, then the maximum output resistance which you can obtain by using a BJT is beta R0, right? If I'm stacking two BJTs together, that is, one is the common source and common emitter, and this is common base, right? So this is common emitter and this is common base. So if you are using these two transistors together, excluding Q3, then you will be getting maximum beta R0 as your output resistance. But if I am cascading a MOSFET device Q3, then what will happen? The overall output resistance will be increased by A0 3 times. So it is the transistor Q3 who is raising the output resistance by how much factor? A03 factor. So in these two ways, we will be able to connect a BiCMOS cascade amplifier. Is that clear, Nikita?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now we'll do one problem. So before doing that, you can take down this result. This is a comparison of CS and cascade amplifier. Already we have derived these two. So just write the results equation so that we can proceed with the numerical. This is a comparison of common source configuration and cascade. You know, cascade is a combination of CS and CG, whereas common source we are having a single stage CS only. So we are going to compare it, the two configurations, in terms of open circuit voltage gain, then voltage gain with load. Okay, open circuit means without load, and this is with load. Then the total time constant equation, and finally the cutoff frequency. All these we have derived it before. So we would like to consolidate it in a table, and you need to study this to do the numerical problem. And the following numerical problem I have also given for your assignment also. So if you can understand this and then you can write for the assignment, means it will be good for you. So if you have any queries, you can ask me while doing the problem. So it is very important how to compare the performance of a common source and a cascade amplifier. The first parameter is, you can make one table, and in the left side we can write common source, on the right side you can write cascade amplifier. The first parameter is the open circuit voltage gain. Open circuit voltage gain is A0, which is equal to GM into RD or R0. At the drain resistance, we are having the output resistance called as R0. So open circuit means without load. Please write it is without load. Open circuit voltage gain means without connecting the load resistance, the gain, voltage gain, is given by GM into R0 for a simple common source configuration. Whereas for a cascade amplifier, I will be specifying the two gains individually, one for common source and one for common gate, and then we will write the overall expression, that is nothing but the multiplication of these two. So write A01 first. A01 is your gain of Q1, which is Q1 CS. First transistor is CS, second transistor is CG. Combination is called as cascode. So for a CS stage, gain is given by GM1 into R01. And for the CG stage, gain is given by AV02 or A02, which is given by 1 plus GM2 plus GMB2 into R02. Already we have derived this, or else you can take down, because this is required in the numerical. GM2 plus GMB2, these are nothing but the transconductance. Transconductance due to body effect, and this is a normal transconductance. Next parameter is voltage gain. Voltage gain means with RL. You can, within bracket you can write with RL. The previous point is without RL. The second parameter is with RL. So if you are introducing the load resistance, then A0 is given by GM into R0 parallel RL. You can put a negative sign also. Here also you can put a negative sign. Negative sign indicates that this is a inverting amplifier. Okay. Minus GM into RL parallel R0. Now what will happen in cascode amplifier? Cascode amplifier with RL, the voltage gain is defined by AV is equal to AV0 into, here we are applying the voltage divider rule, because at the output terminal we are having the effect of both RL and R out, which is appearing as a voltage divider network. So there we are applying the voltage divider rule in order to get the exact voltage gain. So equation will become AV0 into RL divided by RL plus R out, where AV0 is the voltage gain without RL. So without RL, voltage gain is nothing but the product of the A01 and A02. That is the previous two stages. So these two stages gain we need to multiply together, then we get AV0, and that you need to substitute here and find AV. So please write down this. AV0 is nothing but the total output voltage gain, which is nothing but the product of the individual gain.